Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we are going through my critical review of Modern Warfare 2 Multiplayer. Beta's been out for a bit now. I have been grinding it. Of course, we also saw gameplay during the reveal. I've talked with several other creators that got to play it there, and of course, throughout my time on the beta, I've gathered a lot of info on this game. Things that definitely seem strong about it, some things that seem like they could end up changing or should be changed in order to make the game a little bit better. Honestly, I feel like there's a good amount of pros with MW2 MP so far, but also a good amount of cons as well. That's the point of the beta though, right? To see what you like, to see what you don't like, give your feedback, and hopefully, this video can help Infinity Ward tweak some things so that come launch, we have an even more optimized and overall solid and fun experience. So as we break everything down through here, if you guys enjoy this video, feel free to drop a like on it. It does help, share the video around. We could hopefully make a positive impact on the game with this. But I do want to start with my pros here because I have quite a few of them. Like, there are certain aspects of this game that I do really enjoy. Now, for what it's worth, I did also enjoy Modern Warfare 2019 quite a bit in certain aspects. That game certainly had its flaws, but Infinity Ward CODs I'm always, a pretty big fan of by the end of the year, right? So first thing that I love about Modern Warfare 2 Multiplayer, the weapon leveling is super fast and it's super easy. Right now, some weapons that we can actually grind out, keep in mind there's not a ton of them. Most of them are M4 variants. They're anywhere from like level 14 to level 22, and it takes you maybe 2-3 games max to get one weapon completely leveled, at least for the beta. Now, this could, of course, come launch change a little bit and, be a little bit slower. Obviously, the grind will be longer. We're not going to have 20 weapon levels for every weapon at launch. It might be 30, 40, 50. But as it stands right now, the weapon leveling is lovely, I would say, right? Like, it's nice that you don't have to spend hours using the same weapon every single game just to get a few select attachments, right? So I love that. Also, speaking of attachments, that's another pro on my list. The attachment grind is great due to the shared attachments with your other weapons in the game and also within the weapon family trees, right? When I level up my M4 and I get a certain barrel that I like, when I switch over to another M4 variant, the M16 for instance, or maybe the Icarus, and I already have that really good barrel, I can throw that on at level 1 even though I don't have that specific weapon leveled up, and I don't have to go around running around with a bare bones weapon that doesn't really feel all that great. I love that. Obviously, it makes the overall grind for maxing out a weapon and getting all the attachments way easier, but it makes leveling up a new weapon easier because you don't have to start from square one with no attachments and nothing good on the weapon until level 35, which it could be 5-6 matches later, right? So the weapon levels and the attachments and how you unlock them, fantastic. They absolutely crushed that. Let's also talk about the gunplay here while we're talking about the weapons. I really honestly enjoy the gunplay quite a bit. I mean, Infinity Ward has always sort of nailed this. Modern Warfare 2019 gunplay was also phenomenal in my opinion. The weapons just feel like they have personality to them. They obviously, the animations, they look realistic, they look smooth. I love how the guns feel in this game. I also will say, I for the most part liked the fact that the weapons have a bit of recoil. In some cases, it seemed a bit extreme. Like for me on PlayStation 5, I'm playing on 120 FOV affected. I have like the minimum visual recoil possible, right? The smallest amount. And some weapons still have a significant amount of recoil over range. I like that in some cases. I could also see how some players would like that toned down a bit because some weapons just certainly are not super easy to use. Although I don't want it to get to a point like in Modern Warfare 2019 and Warzone where every single gun has no recoil and they are just usable at 300 meters with no consequences. It's just boring as can be, right? Like the Warzone meta is a snooze fest because every gun has no recoil at times. This, I love the fact that there is some recoil. Weapons have personality. Another pro for me. The maps I have multiple different opinions on. For the most part, I think the maps fall in like my neutral or my cons area, but I will say as far as like the colors and everything goes, the maps are bright, they are colorful, they're vibrant, and I love that. They look really, really good. Now, some of them play better than others. We'll talk about that more here in a bit. Another thing that I think is really cool that we should have had in COD for a while now is the ability to toggle between a score streak and a kill streak system. When you go into your streaks, you can choose if you want to use score streaks and have, 650 points get you a UAV, or 5 kills get you a UAV, or 4 kills, whatever it is. The fact that you can choose between the two is awesome. Some players like to get streaks because they are heavy objective players. They're in the hard point. They're on the flags. Other players like to use the kill streaks because maybe they don't want to center all their gameplay around an objective, or maybe they don't like objective based modes. They play FFA or TDM. Having that hybrid system where you can choose which one you want, another top tier option in this game. Also, just a reminder, as we are going through everything here, if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 1 million. Every day I got you covered with the latest news, updates, loadouts, tips, everything going on in Call of Duty. It's all right here. And also right now, all weekend long, my G Fuel discount code Immortal is going to get you 30% off your entire order. The best time to grab something from the G Fuel site is right now. Stock up in time for the crossplay beta next weekend. Great time to do that. Link for that will be down below. Throw in code Immortal at checkout. Take advantage of that increased discount. Something that personally I like, heartbeat sensors have batteries, so they can't just be spammed, used, and abused like crazy. I just like the fact that they're limiting that. And then another thing, I was playing on PlayStation 5 for this, and on 120 hertz, the game felt great. It felt smooth. Now, getting 120 hertz was a pain. I had to go through, I had to delete save data, I had to change a bunch of settings with my recording stuff. But after I got 120 hertz, game felt great. Didn't notice FPS drops, didn't notice any hitching or stuttering. It was very, very smooth and seemed very well optimized. Now let's shift over to some of my neutrals and some of my cons, the things that I don't really love about the game and things that I would change. Real quick in the neutrals, I mainly just have two things here. The maps. I'm not really like, head over heels about any of these maps. I also don't necessarily hate any of these maps. None of them just feel like they're that great. Museum, I would say, is probably my favorite. The streets one, the Mercado Los Almas, I want to say it's called, something like that. I don't love that one. It seems like the spawns on that one are really bad. We'll talk about spawns here in a bit, but overall the maps just seem average to me, so they land in my neutral spot. Obviously though, this is just a small taste of the overall maps. And then also my other neutral is the perk system. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I think it's nice not having to deal with people with Ghost right away, because that's a tier 3 perk or an ultimate perk, so you don't get it until like 6, 7, 8 minutes into the match, depending on how well you're doing. But at the same time, you are pretty limited in what you can actually use in a game, especially for the first, 5 minutes or so. That could be the turning point in a match where the other team has all the momentum by the time you finally get your perks, and it's just too much to overcome. I don't know. The perk system is what it is. I don't love it. I don't hate it, like I said. Now let's talk cons. Skill-based matchmaking. I definitely feel like it's there. I can't really tell if it's like super overwhelming or not, but I never think skill-based matchmaking should be in any COD. It's stupid. It does not help good players. It does not help bad players. If you're not a good player and you're getting, good lobbies because of skill-based matchmaking, you're not actually getting better at the game. And if you're a good player and there's skill-based matchmaking, you either have to deal with, CDL style games 24/7, or you have to do exploits to get around it, which is just stupid. Take out skill-based matchmaking, everyone wins. It's just a simple thing in my opinion. So that is what it is. We talk about that every year. The minimap, as we know, it's not the classic minimap. Red dots do not show up when you shoot an unsuppressed weapon. They should. It doesn't hurt players to have red dots on the map when you shoot an unsuppressed weapon, because there's so many ways to keep yourself off the map. Throw on a suppressor, use Ghost. You can stay off the map if you want to. I don't know why by default they force everyone to stay off the map. It just promotes camping. It promotes a more passive gameplay experience. Not something I enjoy. We had a classic minimap in COD for so long and people weren't complaining about it. Then they changed it in Modern Warfare 2019 and people complained about it and they never changed it back. So I would hope the classic minimap would return. I just don't see how it helps anyone. It just makes it so that using suppressors is useless, and Ghost is also only useful if the other team is doing well. So it doesn't make sense to me. The time to kill. This is probably my biggest thing with the game. It's too fast. It's just like Modern Warfare 2019. And this is sort of a 2-in-1 as well. I don't know if it's like the net code or the servers or what, but with this TTK, I get into fights where I feel like I get 3 or 4 hit markers and I die in 2 shots. And then I look at the kill cam and they shot me 5 or 6 times. And it's like, that is not what I saw in game. That's not what happened in that gunfight at all. Again, that could be the netcode, that could be the servers. Those could change by launch. But this time to kill, like I said, it's just way too fast. There's really not time to react in gunfights. It really favors being the one that is ready, holding a position. Your sights are up, you're ready to fight. aggressive playstyles will suffer because of this, especially with the movement changes and mechanics. Again, we'll talk about that here momentarily, but just bringing down the time to kill a little bit, maybe, you know, 1-2 extra shots in there depending on the weapon, that could really make this game a lot better. Like I said, the engagements and the gunplay feel good. The time to kill, though, just too fast. And in my opinion, that's an easy fix. Now, you heard me talking about movement. Overall, I don't have a huge issue that slide canceling really isn't a main thing. Now, yes, as I'm sure you've seen, you can slide cancel in game by doing ridiculous button combos. I just don't care to do that. It's annoying. And like I said, I'm okay that slide canceling isn't in the game. You can figure out things around it. I do think, though, they gotta change sliding. Right now, it's completely useless. Make it so that you can slide cancel as a movement, but it doesn't reset your attack sprint, because right now sliding is more harmful to your gameplay. It forces you into a full animation that you cannot cancel, you can't shoot in it, you can't change your weapons in it, you can't like alter it in any way. It's a hard stuck animation that is not good or really not useful in a lot of cases, and oftentimes, like I said, is going to be more harmful to your gameplay than not. So sliding's got to change because it's not a good mechanic right now. I think you should just be able to cancel it, truly. But just because it's going to allow you to make smarter plays rather than getting stuck because of an animation. That's just not good gameplay in my opinion. Just don't allow it to reset attack sprint, and we don't have a broken mechanic, and you'll only see players use it because it's smooth and it feels good, rather than using it to abuse it and actually move around the map faster. I feel like that's a pretty simple fix as well. Let's talk the spawns. I'm personally like a main domination player for betas like this. I don't really love TDM. The game's end too quickly. I don't play search or prison rescue or anything, but even in domination, where the spawns should be the most predictable and the most sticky, they're all over the place, man. I'm spawning in 3 different locations when none of the flag positions have changed, and I'm on opposite sides of the map every other life. The spawns need a lot of work, especially on the Los Alamos map. That map for spawns, man, it can get tilting, honestly, just because you're all over the place. So hopefully spawns get some refining and some tuning before launch. I'm sure one that most players will be talking about here, Dead Silence, as a field upgrade. I'd rather just have it as a tier 3 perk or something. The footstep audio is audible for sure. It's inconsistent. That's another point on my cons list. The footsteps, sometimes you hear them great. Like on Museum, I can hear footsteps crazy good. You'd need dead silence if you're playing on Museum, because everyone is going to be able to hear exactly where you are. But then on Los Alamos, I can't really hear footsteps. On some of the other maps, I can't really hear footsteps. They're just very inconsistent. But then not having Deady as a perk is, again, promoting not moving, and I don't think that's good for general gameplay. Having a slowed down passive campy gameplay is going to get stale. So avoiding those situations that promote that, I feel like, is better in the long run. The sprint to fire and the sprint speeds also feel a tad bit slow, again hurting more aggressive and rush happy gameplay. Enforcing always walking around with your sights up, enforcing playing slow, and just playing a little bit too tactical for what Call of Duty is, in my opinion. Obviously there's some bias in here because I am a super aggressive player. I want to run and gun and just shoot everything and sprint around 24/7, but yeah, just the sprint speeds seem a little bit slow on some of the weapons, even when you build them for mobility. And then the sprint to fire times on all weapons seem like it's pretty slow right now, even on like the SMGs, which should be pretty fast for that regard. And then the final thing I have on my cons list is the menu. It's just mad confusing for like no reason, with like the sort of hub that we have now, where you can go in and it's your social and progression and your settings, and then, oh, I can figure out how to get to my playlist now that I've accidentally clicked the wrong thing 4 times. It shouldn't be hard to figure out where you're going on the menu, where I'm trying to find my class setups and find where the playlist selection is. It's just a little bit too cluttered, and there's too many different like sub menus, if you will. So I don't really think that that's necessary by any means. If I play COD for 10 years and I go on a game and I can't figure out where I'm going in the menu for the first 20 minutes, how do you expect someone who's never played the game to be able to figure out the menu quickly and actually want to play the game if they're just getting stuck in the wrong screen constantly, right? So I'm not a huge fan of that. With that being said, those are my general thoughts on Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer right now. Overall, out of 10, I'd probably give this game like a, I don't know, a 7, I think is probably where I'd land right now. Definitely is fun, and I've enjoyed my time on it so far, but I do think there is quite a bit of room for improvement as well. So maybe 6.5, 7, somewhere in that range. But that's gonna wrap things up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you're new here, feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, because I got you covered every single day with all things going on in COD. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.